What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lies here from Weekly Wrestling Heat. We are live. We are here with season 2, episode 1 of Weekly Wrestling Heat. We are back with another one. We have the whole crew here. Angel is currently watching the end of NXT right now, trying to get his live reaction live. But yeah, let's start off with the wrestling news, man. Moise, what do you got for us?
Wrestling news. So Impact aired some weird.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry.
Impact aired some weird video with like Gallows, Anderson, EC3, Maria, Spud, and Kurt Hawkins, teasing Slammiversary. I haven't gotten that far. I only finished half of Impact, so I didn't get that far in. I think it's just a tease, though. I don't think it's anything serious.
From the latest report that I saw, that a couple of those guys have actually verbally committed to the showing up at Slammiversary. There's no real set thing on that. They're just teasing them to see exactly.
Well, I mean, Drake can't really.
Basically, they just show an appearance.
So I was sorry. I heard the end of that while I was watching Drake cry. For the Impact thing, I think that proves that they're just trying to get some hype, like I had mentioned.
Yeah, pretty much.
I could see Maria, Mike, and EC3 going back there though.
EC3 is an interesting choice though for him to go there. I know he did fantastic there, and I'm sure he'd have. It's weird to say it this way. I'm sure he'd have more freedom there at Impact than he would at AEW, but only because of the rosters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But I think they're like. I'd want EC3 in AEW as well, just because I don't think there's an Impact match I want to see of his that over matches I would love to see in AEW. I think him and Elgin could be fun, but and I've already seen him in Moose, so I don't need to see it again. Elias, your thoughts?
I could see a couple of things that they could do in Impact. If he comes back with that heel character, the Ethan Carter, the third gimmick, I think it could work well. Especially with Elgin, or even having like Mike Kanellis and Maria back, it could be a good stable with them three. So
I didn't watch a lot of Impact back when he was there. I don't watch it still, so fair enough point for myself there. But is his character, that Ethan Carter character, was that very aggressive?
Spoiled
version?
Spoiled nephew.
So like MJF?
Yeah, kind of like
a cartoonish?
Kind of like a heel Shane McMahon mixed with MJF.
Mixed with Miz, yeah.
Mixed with the Miz.
I'll say, because he's definitely been teasing a very aggressive character.
He's never been
Twitter and Instagram.
The only time in Impact he got that aggressive was when him and Spud had the Anything Goes match, which you need to YouTube that. That was a great match.
That was a good one.
Him and Spud, Anything Goes. And it's so weird because people in the audience are wearing like their T-shirt, like because they were like friends like a week before that. But we'll see what happens. Other than that, it's been a pretty quiet week on the news front. I know SmackDown, like this is the first time it's happened on any wrestling show. The rating went upward rather than going downward.
Yeah,
like they gained viewers.
Same thing with NXT this week. They went upward. AEW kind of dropped a little, but it stayed consistent. Raw was actually pretty decent. It dropped, but the reason will be in is all the coverage because of the riots and stuff that was basically happening. So that was a contributing factor to that. I guess the only thing we could talk about right now,
there is some more news, so just let me know whenever.
No, go ahead. We'll talk about it in a minute.
WWE released a free tier, getting rid of their free month, so no more free credit cards for Angel.
Sorry, are we still on news?
Yeah, Angel. I was saying WWE got rid of their free month, so you can't use credit cards anymore, or email addresses like you've been using.
I use Watch Wrestling. But that sucks that they did that. It's kind of
we don't we pay for our stuff here, so
I actually do. I give them my credit card every month.
Yeah.
So
And then, oh yeah, Juice Robinson and Tony Storm are dating.
Who?
Tony Storm.
Who?
Do you know who that is?
Nope.
This is why you're an AEW fan, because you don't know women's wrestling. So Tony Storm.
I know who
Juice
Tony
Robinson,
Storm is. I don't know who the other
Juice
guy is.
Robinson. You
Juice
don't know
Robinson,
Juice Robinson?
he was actually at NXT. I forgot what his name was. In
TJ
NXT.
Parker. TJ
Yeah,
Parker.
TJ Parker. So yeah, that's interesting. All right, so the main news breaking this week, which we'll get into once we get into NXT, but Drake Maverick actually got re-signed back to WWE.
Before that, just a small touch. Arn signed a full contract with AEW now as well.
Yeah, that too.
Which is, cool. Good for him. But then the big contract talk is that Drake Maverick and they're even offering supposedly smaller figures to some of the other guys that were released.
Except for Leo Rush, because he came out and complained about it.
Well, Leo Rush is rightfully complaining, I think.
I want to see Leo and Darby Allin. AEW needs to
that'd be legit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
That's
so.
a
I'm
good
gonna address the situation in this one right quick. So the whole thing, people are shitting on Drake Maverick because he re-signed with WWE, which is kind of somebody's mic is blowing air.
Is it me?
I mean,
I don't know.
One sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was you because you moved and now I don't hear it.
All right. So basically what happened, people started shitting on Drake Maverick because of the fact that, started shitting on Drake Maverick because of the fact that of the whole storyline on how it went with him being fired. Yeah, and then him ended up getting a NXT contract at the end of this story, at the end of this tournament with which we'll get into a little bit about the match, but Triple H addressed the situation today on In Your House takeover conference call that they had. So basically, and this is basically what I got out of it because I was reading from multiple sources. So Triple H basically said that they basically gave Drake Maverick the choice to either continue to perform, or he could basically take the leave. Like, if he didn't want to do it, he didn't have to do it. It was optional for him because of the fact of what had happened, and his performance in the tournament and the backing that he had from the WWE roster. And other wrestling personalities, and of course the WWE universe and the wrestling world.
Your groomsman is the world heavyweight champion on SmackDown right now, so you should have some pull, right?
Yeah. So he basically said that everything basically kind of lined up in Drake Maverick's favor at the end. The argument that I made to some people today on Twitter was basically like he had the choice to do this. It wasn't a storyline. It was a real life situation. He decided to stick with WWE and show them that he was the ride or die for them. So he earned his contract. So there's nothing.
WWE is telling him like, yo, whenever touring starts again, you're going to be working NXT, and we'll have you some Fridays for 205 Live if they decide to go that way. He's working a 3-day schedule max. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. And of course,
it's a company he wants to be at.
And every Friday you're with your best friends on SmackDown. You're doing 205 Live. You'll see him every Friday.
So I mean, it's a win-win situation. I mean, people might like Leo Rush addressed the situation. He's like a slap in the face. I'm like, no, it's not a slap in the face. This man literally stuck with the company through the even though he got fired, and
Leo Rush is becoming the next ACH, and it's getting really annoying.
I would agree with him, though. This is kind of a slap.
But the thing is, they offered contracts to other released wrestlers too.
But there was no. The reason he's saying it's a slap is there was no reason to release him in the first place. There really wasn't, and I would argue that.
I would argue mention the fact that it wasn't like he wasn't doing his part in.
Yeah. He was being used.
First of all, he was putting in the work.
The guy was a general manager of something that gets like probably 15 views.
But the problem was like And the thing about it is the fact that he kept trying to move up real quick. I feel like sometimes they put Leo Rush in the back burner at times.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Leo Rush kind of sunk himself.
Screw himself.
Yeah.
But I would argue their reasoning being that basically Drake Maverick got over and he showed that he could. I would argue the reason he was over is because people were backing him to fight against the company by re-signing a small majority of people probably will dislike him for re-signing.
I see where that portion of people are coming from, but a lot of it is it's not the heat on Drake. Everybody's happy for Drake.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
And
So-
I think
Oh,
I'm actually happy for him.
I'm gonna go on like a little fantasy storyline. So go ahead and finish, Elias.
so. I think that the problem is that they felt that WWE made a storyline out of this, which, at the end of the day, Drake Maverick had agreed to do this. If he didn't want to do it, he had the option to leave. So don't blame the company for giving him a contract for him sticking around through the lows of it, regardless of what happened to him. I agree. Releasing these wrestlers was unneeded, but at the same time, it wasn't the decision of the people below. It was the decision of the higher ups. It was above Triple H's control who got fired.
I don't think that's true.
Right.
He got demoted.
Yeah.
He says he didn't get demoted. If you listen to him,
Well, he got from his. You could call it a demotion, but it kind of like they kind of gave
it's a lateral move.
Yeah, a lateral move to take full control of NXT.
So he had control of NXT guys.
1 second. Let me break this down for you guys.
All right, while you're doing that,
Please do.
Where are you going? I want you to listen to this great storyline I'm about to throw out.
I'm listening. I just don't want to eat on camera.
So you have Phantasma, beat a couple of cruiserweights but keep having these masked men interfere. And after a couple weeks, you have Phantasma be like, these are actually my boys, and we don't know who's under the mask, right? So then Drake Maverick gets a title shot, and then these guys come out, and Phantasma joins them in beating up Drake Maverick, and all of a sudden, EC3 comes out and makes the save.
EC3 says screw that company already.
When two of your best friends are in the company, you say that, but you'll always go back. It's like I think Gallows and Anderson, if they wanted to, could go back like in a month or two.
I don't think they want to though.
Yeah, but I think EC3 would, because he's really close to Spud. He's really close to Braun. What's it called? I forgot who it was. Road Dogg was the one that went against Finch when Finch got mad that he got a louder pop than Dean Ambrose, I believe, and that's why Road Dogg got demoted, right?
That's why he almost got fired.
Yeah. So I can see something happening there. I do think Drake Maverick is going to get an ally or two in the future. I don't know who it's going to be, but that's just what I'm seeing.
Well, after seeing all the stuff that he did without a contract, I think he has some pull now. He showed that he was worth the investment, and he showed out. Like, he got every opportunity they gave him. He worked as a professional, showed that he was down for WWE. Like, regardless of whether people like it or not, basically, like I said, it's like, if you're not happy for Drake for getting a contract with NXT, then there's something wrong in this situation. He came out winning,
and you made Atlas look like a superstar the whole time too.
Yeah, so it's like there's no. I mean, it's wrong because he got released because of the fact that he was doing real good. But I mean, that's corporate life. If anybody works in corporate, even in retail, we know that people, even the most successful people in corporate, get let go, due to budget cuts and stuff like that. So that's
let's get into this week of wrestling, because I think we could have a whole episode on this. But
yeah, so all right, so let's get into Raw talk today. We had Raw kicking off with Seth Rollins doing a retirement ceremony for Rey Mysterio, which got interrupted by Aleister Black. Man, Seth Rollins really knows how to get heat.
Dude, him and Black's match was awesome.
Man, that match was really good.
I wish there was a live crowd for it.
Of course,
Yeah, all they needed was the crowd, and it'd have been cool.
Of course, Aleister Black got the victory via roll up, which was a pretty nice, and ended up getting jumped by Murphy in Theory, and then Carrillo tried to save, but then they both ended up getting curb stomped at the end.
What's Humberto doing? Like, is Humberto's role just getting his ass kicked by whoever?
Yes, he is the Sammy Guevara of WWE right now.
As basically, the face, right?
I mean, he's not as over as Sammy, but
he's the face version of Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
I would say I like the idea that sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I like the idea of the reason, because the reason Seth lost this match was basically the interference or his disciples allowing basically the trickery for Black to get a roll up.
All right, what happened next, July?
Afterwards, we get a segment where Apollo Crews and Kevin Owens went for the United States title.
Fun match. This was another fun match, I thought.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this match was basically ended short because of Andrade and Angel Garza interfering, which also led to a tag team match between Apollo Crews and Kevin Owens defeating Andrade and Angel Garza. I thought this match was pretty good too. Pretty good. Solid work from both teams. I love this.
They given.
I love this new version of Apollo Crews. He's more. He's more physical. He's more. He has a lot of intensity into this character now.
Is he hinting at turning heel?
I don't think so, because I think Kevin hinted at it, and he was like, "Nah, man. All due respect, I want to face you."
But what? If you look at why he picked KO, and this is my thinking, I could be way off because WD probably doesn't think of it. Maybe if you say it, boys, they'll use this, so we'll try it. But Apollo Crews, he was looking for someone he knew he could beat,
and he got kicked in the groin. Remember?
Mm-hmm. And KO was hurt. KO's leg. He's like, I can't, And he's basically, no, you definitely deserve this shot. It's you. That's who I want to
like face. A condescending heel, basically. I can see that. Yeah.
And it's he's doing it. He presents it like, no, I'm looking out for everyone. I want everyone to feel they can come and challenge me for this. But he's the one that's gonna start picking these people who he knows he can beat.
Next week he's gonna pick Humberto.
Yeah, pick Carrillo next. Dominic. I don't know, but yeah. I think if they go that route, that'd be a cool way to turn him. I
think he would be great with MVP. I think he could use MVP's mic work because his mic skills are still kind of. But WWE, the more time you get on the mic, the better you're going to get on the mic too. So,
yeah, I think I agree. I do see the benefit of putting him with MVP as well. All right, so afterwards we get an entertainment segment between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits and Bowling. I'm loving these segments. It's pretty
Angel's
funny.
Hating this because he knows this is what the Revival is supposed to be doing.
This is bull.
You're hating this because this is what the Revival was supposed to be doing.
Right? What's the point of any of this?
It's entertaining.
It's entertainment, just like the Inner Circle montages that they had
That's
before.
Very different. That's character building. This is just doing it for the sake of doing it.
No, everyone thinks Ivar is cute. Maybe Ivar's got
character building.
Maybe Ivar's got some charm that we don't know about.
Vince making jokes about these people. The fat guy.
Pause. Storyline booking time. Someone's listening. All right. Here's what's gonna happen. Angel Garza.
Guys, they're the champions. They haven't fought in 4 weeks.
They fought last week. They fought MVP and Bobby.
Lashley.
I'm talking about. They have not fought a storyline reason for the past month.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get to that. So what's going to happen is Angel and Andrade are going to become a tag team. And Angel is going to break Charlie Caruso's heart. And Ivar will be the dude that he falls for because Ivar is going to be that fat, lovable guy like Otis on SmackDown. Because, all the girls are like, oh, Ivar, we're going to let you go because you're cute.
Carrillo. Jesus Christ.
Garza.
Charlie Caruso is too into Garza.
Garza's engaged, so it's not happening regardless.
That's not canon. This is the main roster, not those lower divisions.
So what's
Like
gonna
NXT.
happen? So what's gonna
Like
happen
AEW.
is Caruso's gonna get her heart broken, and Ivar's gonna be there for her, and Ivar's gonna show up on First Take a couple of times with Stephen A. Smith, Max, and her, and put over his character even more.
Why you gonna put First Take into this?
Because Charlie does First Take on Fridays.
Yeah, she's part of the ESPN correspondent team as Charlie Arnold.
So that's what's gonna happen. Charlie's gonna be like, I want y'all to be Ivar, and Ivar's gonna put over his character and his team that much more. It's all leading to something, and this could have been a revival, but they wanted to mess it up. So next match.
You're stupid. That is, none of that's gonna happen. Right?
It's entertaining. It really is
That
entertaining.
is the most entertaining thing I've heard all day today.
Like this whole rivalry between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits has been really entertaining. Like anything you could do, I could do better stuff. It's funny. Like it's adding an entertainment value to Raw.
I mean,
I like it.
It's building no one.
I mean,
Go ahead, and then I'll end it.
I like the entertainment aspect of it all, but honestly, I'm just waiting for the action.
I'm gonna disagree because I think Angelo's character is getting built. I haven't seen Angelo this comfortable on the mic ever.
Yeah. Nor have we seen Ibar actually get the screen time that he's getting. Usually
the comic timing, yeah.
Yeah, so usually Eric gets the mic time. So I think it is kind of building the characters up.
It means nothing. Here's the problem. Right. Here's the problem also with it. The whole point of this was that they didn't know how to bowl, the Street Profits, right?
Yeah.
They could not bowl to save their life. Out of nowhere, these guys get distracted, the Viking Raiders, essentially. They go off. The lights cut off, basically, at one point. Then the Street Profits all of a sudden are really good at bowling.
That's the thing. They're letting each other win because they respect each other, like in the axe throwing, and we saw it in the basketball game.
Shut up. And then we get to the end, and they still lose.
That's the point.
They lost by 1.
So who wins?
The Viking Raiders. Now it's 2-2.
They were winning anyway.
Now it's 2-2.
No, it's even. It's been even.
No.
It's
they were winning the bowling to begin with. What was the point? I mean,
that's the whole thing with the whole series.
It's stupid.
Okay, you know why he thinks this? Because he hasn't watched the MVP Matt Hardy stuff when they were doing this. You need to go back and watch the Matt Hardy MVP Papa Shot and football throwing contest.
It was stupid back then too.
It got MVP
over. I'll remind them if AEW ever does something like this.
They'll do it better.
Yeah, I'm sure you're all about the Hardy party, right?
Okay. Hell yeah.
Next match.
Speaking of, we'll talk about it later, but next.
Anyways, afterwards, the Iconics and Bliss and Cross get into it backstage, which leads to a match between Billy Kay and Nikki Cross. Billy Kay ended up winning this match, thus basically, I guess, putting the
skip this.
Afterwards, how does she beat Nikki?
I don't like Billy Kay either. Billy Kay has that like Shotzi Blackheart effect on me.
Clearly, they don't care about it either. They want Peyton to be the standout.
Oh, Peyton's going to be the star of this group, definitely.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, afterwards we get a interview with Rey Mysterio and Dominic responding to Seth Rollins' retirement sermon for Rey Mysterio. Basically, Mysterio's like, I'm not gonna retire, blah blah blah. He's like, he's gonna get what is coming to him. Dominic then comes back and says, like, he hurt you, he hurt our family, he has to pay. And then Mysterio's trying to calm him down. And then after the interview ends, Dominic stays there. He's like, he tells Seth Rollins, you're a man of scripture, and he says an eye for an eye, and then walks off. So I'm guessing it's leading up to Dominic eventually debuting in WWE or something like that.
I think this is leading to Dominic becoming part of this stupid stable.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And then Ray's gonna have to save his son or something.
Mm-hmm. Something dumb. I don't.
Yeah.
What was? It's like it felt like false advertising at this point. I was like, because the whole show they were saying Ray's gonna be on Raw. Ray's gonna be here. It was a Skype call.
Okay, wait. They did that with Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels too the last couple of weeks, though.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then they were, but still, this was the whole show was built around this is Ray's retirement. So I'm thinking
it
big
basically
ankle at the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It basically was a swerve by Seth Rollins, basically, to come out and do the fake retirement ceremony for Rey Mysterio.
Okay,
So,
but then riddle me this: so why would Raw, as a show, let's say, why would they be advertising it too? If this was all just Seth, if he comes out the opening of the show and says, "Hey guys, just so you know, this is why I'm really here today," but don't advertise Ray's retirement ceremony.
They probably try to make it. They probably try to make it from the storyline standpoint that Ray was actually going to retire.
Look, Raw needs anything for ratings right now. They're in a free fall.
Wow, they kind of leveled out. They're at what 1.8, 1.7.
Yeah, 1.7.
They dropped below the Memorial Day show, which never happened.
Well, they also got to think about the stuff that's been happening in the world today. So
there's a lot of news. Yeah, and Monday's the first day of the week with brand new news over the weekend.
So, with everything going on right now, nobody was really thinking about wrestling, to be honest with you, except for us. So all right. Afterwards, we get afterwards we get R-Truth reclaiming his 24/7 title from Rob Gronkowski, which was actually pretty funny how he got it back. So that happened, and R-Truth is back. So I guess Rob is basically free to go back to football. So
I think Tom Brady's gonna get this title next.
No, he's not.
Maybe. Better than seeing Mike Tyson versus Chris Jericho, but anyways, afterwards we get kind of a cringy match. Nia Jax defeats Kairi Sane, which they edited out the blood spot that happened.
I said I wasn't going to interrupt, but now I want to.
No, we're all going to interrupt here because we've all been saying it. Except
good. Okay.
You started. I'll tag you in first.
She had no control over that bump. I don't care what Uncle Dave said at the beginning of the week. He changed his mind, obviously, at this point after he saw the bump. Nia needs to be something.
Hold on, time out. You actually believe stuff he says?
That's his uncle.
I mean, I would say a good chunk of it's probably legit. Anyway.
Yeah, so is a good chunk of what I say. But yeah, continue.
Shut up. You're going to be...
Continue.
I'm going to be Brian and you could be Dave at this point with the way we talk to each other. Because I'm clearly the more suave.
Probably, okay.
Okay.
So no. In all honesty, so Nia, I'm more than him. All right,
continue, Angel.
You're the best.
Continue. All right, let's get back to it.
Nia.
So Nia needs to get
Nia messed this spot up.
No. Keep this on. Keep going.
Kriston, before you defend your girl, she's in the wrong here. I think everyone in the world
literally threw her face first into the stairs. She threw her face first into the stairs.
Yeah, that was beyond Kari's control. Even though as much as she tried to cover her head, you got to know how to throw somebody correctly, and that one was a big botch by Nia's fault.
Here's another key before you defend your girl. Again, I was watching Brian F4W, and he said, in case anyone doesn't know, here's the key to doing a throw, to doing a whip, to doing, any of these spots. The key is you're not actually the one doing it. The one who's taking the bump is the one who's making the run.
Controlling it.
They're in full control. When you grab their arm and you look like you're pulling them, that's them just running and taking your arm with them.
Yeah.
So for Nia to grab her on the head and basically you see her doing the force, that means
after slamming her into the apron.
That means Kairi was not in control of her bump, which is what makes it dangerous. And that's the problem that Nia has had on a couple of these spots. All right, Kriston, try and defend your girl.
I just love how y'all. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, first of all, she too big for these small ass girls to be sitting over here saying that. Oh God,
match with Alexa.
Yeah, and you can't say that big girls can't wrestle small girls. Look at Nyla Rose in Rio. Look
Look
at
at Awesome
Havoc,
Kong.
Fantastic.
Awesome Kong.
Asia Kong. You got freaking
Awesome Kong and Ali. Awesome Kong and Tara Terrell. Yeah, you got like all these girls that were big, small.
I will give you this. I will give you this. She has improved in controlling people, but I think this one was one of those spots that she did kind of overshoot. So this one is you can't really defend this one.
So let me ask you a question. If this is the case, what do y'all think need to be done?
She just needs to be more careful and be more in sync with her people.
She needs more training.
She needs to go down to the performance center, and they need to bring in they need to pay whatever it costs to bring in an Awesome Kong for a training session, and Awesome Kong needs to go to work on her and show her how it's done.
Someone needs to. I think Awesome Kong is still signed though.
Not with AEW. Her and Rebby hate each other. She's done. You don't know Oh, dude, Awesome Kong almost like killed Rebby like a year ago.
Thought she's a backstage person.
No, she went back to Glow.
Glow, yeah.
Yeah.
So she has nothing to do with AEW at the moment. She actually they after she got injured and then they basically parted ways at, you know.
Who was the Asian lady? I want to say it was like M something Sakamoto or something. They had her at the Mae Young Classic. Her gimmick was like the video game boss, and
Sakura. Emi Sakura
was she in the Mae Young Classic?
The one that dresses up to Freddie Mercury now?
No. This girl was bigger. This girl was like a little bit smaller than Naya. She was an Asian lady, but she
the first one.
Yeah, she. All I remember is like her. Morrow called her the video game boss, basically. So she's a bigger lady and she can work. So if you get someone like that in, let Naya train with a couple of bigger girls, you know, get down what you need to get down.
She didn't even really need to train specifically with. She needs to just restart from the ground up. But they called her up pretty quickly, didn't they? Like she had like maybe 6 months of training, I think, when they first called her up.
But the thing is, in NXT, like in NXT, she was still performing well with like the Baileys and the Sashas and stuff.
I mean, you got to think too. Those are, I don't know. They're also in more control over it because it's not live.
It's Miku Satomura.
The Bailey. Yeah, that one. You're right. What you said.
At that time, it wasn't live, was it?
No, but the Bailey match was a takeover match, so it was live. The Bailey and Nia match.
Oh,
yeah,
everyone.
She had. I think, but at the same time, I think it's like she's become a little bit careless in the main roster. So it's like it all falls on, you know, being disciplined enough to be able to take care of your opponent. With any wrestler, you have to make sure that you look out for them. If you can't look out for them, then injuries happen. Thus, like with Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss, or like anytime.
I'll make one comment, and you guys remember this in that TLC match when Kyrie got the concussion. Charlotte and Becky knew right away, so they just kind of like pushed her off into the corner.
Charlotte knew a little bit after because she still put her through a table.
Yeah, you're right. And then like,
but as soon as she caught it, she's like, "Oh crap, I'm sorry," and got her out.
All right, so going on, Asuka defeated Charlotte Flair via countout, which basically was because of Nia Jax and coming in Asuka's team and distracting her. It is what it is. That match was entertaining till the end. I liked this match. I just felt like it should have ended with an actual pin. Anyways, at the last match of Raw was Drew McIntyre defeating MVP, which was a good match. And then afterwards, Lashley came in and put McIntyre in a full Nelson, and Raw went off the air.
He put him in a master lock.
Full Nelson.
It's a full Nelson, man.
You know, Bobby's the only one that's ever gotten out of the master lock.
Mm-hmm.
Back when that was a thing. So
didn't Hulk Hogan do this too?
I think he's got a master lock. Huh?
I think Hulk Hogan did this once.
What, this move?
No, getting out of the master lock.
He wasn't with Chris Masters?
Yeah,
Chris Masters?
No, like I think he made a special appearance. Like, you know, Shawn Michaels did it once, Kurt Angle did it once.
Oh,
John
Bobby Lashley's the only
Cena did it.
wrestler. There you go.
All right, so that was Raw in a nutshell. So let's get into NXT.
Wait, real quick, because Moise, just to finish off, Moise, you love you some MVP, don't you?
I love MVP so much. Yes,
I gotta give it to you. You called it maybe 4 or 5 months ago, saying he needs to be taken a stable. He's literally been the MVP of this show by what he's done in the ring. Supposedly, by all reports, he's completely gone from the back, and he's like a full-time on-screen guy. You know,
actually, MVP addressed that. He says, "Don't believe the dirt sheets." So he still has some. From what I've read, he still has some. He's still part of the backstage crew. It's just that he's kind of like Paul Heyman. He's part of backstage and also a full-time performer.
I mean, either way, he's done great on TV. So.
Yeah.
All right. So NXT started with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae, and this match basically all the women came out. Or no, that happened later. I lied. Both the men came out, and then
I'm about to say I don't remember that part.
Keith Lee's hand was in the stairs. Johnny Gargano kicked it. There was disqualification.
Oh, you're skipping ahead. Okay. Wait,
Yeah.
what? You're skipping the match?
Well, it turned into a mixed tag. So
yeah, it did. So
yeah, I didn't hear that.
Okay,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
I'm about to say, wait a minute.
Something very important.
Yeah, no. So they both brawled outside, and William Regal, someone reported that turned it into a mixed tag match. And then Tegan Nox came out before this, and Dakota Kai, Raquel, and Shotzi Blackheart, came out before this. And basically, Gargano gouged Keith Lee in the eye with the key, and then did the little stair spot that I told you about. And what's it called? This is going to lead to a 6-woman tag match between Shotzi, Tegan, and Mia, the 3 I can't stand the most, versus Raquel, Dakota, and Candice, the 3 I love the most.
Wait, what?
So,
oh, sorry.
In your house.
All right,
so
cool.
Anything to say about that match?
Not really.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think you said everything that needed to be said.
Then we had Isaiah Scott versus Tony Nese. Jack Gallagher came out. Tony Nese still lost the match. He got rolled up at the end. I think Swerve is going to be probably the first guy to lose to Phantasma for the title.
I actually like this match.
Ooh.
This was
bold words, Moise.
This was low key underrated. One of the most underrated matches on the card on this week's show.
I didn't care for it. Angel, Chrison, thought.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
All right, continue.
I mean, I see where you're getting. I see where you're getting at, Elias. But I feel like it should have went on a little bit more. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right.
So then we had Undisputed Era versus Lorcan and Burke versus a returning tag team of Breezango. Breezango win the match. This was a fun match, I thought, this 3-way tag match. And then it led to Imperium coming out and then Indus Share coming out. And they just eyed one another down. Where do we think this is going?
Breezango challenging.
They're the number 1 contenders now. All of a sudden, aren't they?
Yeah, but in the share this randomly came out.
Who?
The 2 Indian guys.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Who? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, that sounds like a match for the number 1 contender against the championship, the tag team championship. That's what it sounds like to me.
Then we had Aaliyah versus Santana Garrett. I enjoyed this match a lot.
I did too. I'm glad Santana Garrett finally got a win.
Both women look like $1 million. Aaliyah loses again when Robert Stone is scouting her, but Robert Stone looks like he hasn't slept in a month because Chelsea Green left his stable, even though Chelsea Green tweeted she needs a new manager. So it's gonna
be Zack Ryder.
She's moving up. Didn't she go into? Supposedly she's going to SmackDown or something.
I think she's going to Raw or SmackDown. Jack Ryder's her boy. I think he's going to be her manager.
I feel so bad for Robert Stone though. Listen, man. The way he came out That man look like he got beat up hood and everything.
He looked like he just got out the club and just came straight to work.
I agree, but I think this could be great for Leo when they finally get it going.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think I like the way that they're trying to push Aaliyah low key. She deserves it. She's one of the homegrown talents that deserves the spotlight.
Yeah.
Then we had Cameron Grimes versus Bronson Reed, which I think you should have not done this match at all, and just had what's it called, a promo for Damian Priest and Finn Balor, because I forgot that was even on the pay-per-view. So Cameron Grimes wins really.
I mean,
quick.
hey, listen. I'ma still listen. I know Killer Cross got in his ass and everything like that, but I'm still gonna ride for Bronson Reed. Come on now.
Okay, good thing Bronson Reed's not on the pay-per-view. Then I skipped this, but Dexter Lumis was in the back and started painting, which is what he did in Impact. He would paint the females that he was stalking. So
yeah, it didn't play off anything, right?
No, you had to go online. You had to go online and watch the finished product. Yeah,
it was basically a picture of him driving an Undisputed Era tied up in the back seat.
It was a character thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
He's actually a painter, so he actually does his own drawings.
I think it's kind of weird that they even would ask him a question, knowing that he's not going to say anything.
Well,
even weirder is that he would be there for the interview, knowing he's not going to talk to anyone.
The best comment I saw was like, "Man, and Vince still thinks NXT wrestlers can't draw."
Fuck's sake. That's funny.
All right,
that's funny.
Then we had our main event. Drake Maverick versus Phantasma. The two luchadors come out that have been trying to kidnap everyone. Maverick goes out, does a beautiful suicide dive, comes back in, catches the super kick with the Phantasma bomb, and loses. Crowd is clapping. He's walking away. I got a tear in my eye. Triple H comes out. I get another tear in my eye because I know where this is going because he's got that NXT contract. Angel's crying right now.
No, I'm trying to pretend I don't care.
Yeah, dude. Triple H is like, you deserve it. Gives him a hug, and Drake says, I won't let you down.
Is that what he's? I couldn't hear it at the end there.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It was. I mean,
I think Angel's the only one not invested in the storyline.
No, because I mean, I see where he's coming from, but at the same time, I'm pretty happy that it ended in a positive note for him. They could have just let him go and just let him go. I mean, I feel like I said at the beginning, like he showed them that he was willing to ride with them through, even though they let him go, and that basically proved that he deserved it. He deserved a second. He deserved not a second chance, but he deserved a contract. So all's well.
Yeah, I kind of saw where this was going. Yeah, I kind of saw where this was going because I knew they weren't gonna just let him go out the door like that.
Well, I mean,
especially
when you
the
have
past couple of matches he put on.
Well, when you have somebody that instead of deciding to opt out of the tournament, he decides to stay and perform, it pretty much shows. He kind of gave me that Undertaker vibe, kind of like how he stuck with WWE through the Attitude Era while everybody else was leaving. That's kind of like the same thing with Drake. Even though he got released, he decided to stay, and he decided to show that he was willing to forgive something like that and just do what he wanted to do, what he loved, and that's perform and wrestle. So
yeah. Well, I'm happy. Well, regardless, I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
now, I didn't get teary eyed like Moist and Angel, but I was like, man, I better not let this boy walk out the door.
And
then anyone with a heart enjoyed this, except for Angel. But we'll talk about Angel.
I'm not invested in it. I couldn't care less for someone who they legitimately let go, and because they suddenly realize, oh wait, he's actually decent. The guy's been a ride or die for them for a long time. I can't think of anyone else who would do what he did for 205 Live for that long. And
like I said,
I think my only downfall, the only thing I just hated about Drake Maverick, he was in that foolishness with the 24/7 championship. My whole idea was,
he's over
funny,
there.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
Was entertaining, though.
That's what I'm saying. He was over there.
Okay, I got that part, fellas. what I'm saying to you was this. Yes, he's entertaining. I got that part. But I feel like he was much more better, much more than just that, even back then. So even when he was at 205 Live.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because
He was with AOP for a minute too.
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
I think it was a
it's very
unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that happened to him, and like I said,
you also got to think about it this way: WWE gave his wife paydays, and she wasn't even signed.
they had to pay for that wedding somehow.
Yeah, but like they gave his wife paydays, so like maybe like he had in his heart, like, all right, if they help my wife out, I'm gonna help them out, and we saw where it led. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, they gave him the option to stay or go. He didn't have to do if he was as salty as some of the other guys were when they got let go.
You can say Leo Rush. You can say Leo Rush.
There's a couple of them.
There's a couple.
I haven't read any other. Like Hawkins was good about it. Ryder was good about it. Slater was good about it. Like,
I think
still trying to figure out why the hell they got rid of Keith Slater, but okay. But that's different story for another day.
Okay, but all right. So let's just finish this on this note, and then we'll move on to AEW. Put it like this: when you have the option to leave and you don't leave, like you can't fault the company for pushing a guy that decides to stick with the company, regardless of the situation that they put him in, regardless of how people feel. The man, it was his choice to stay, and they would have respected it where he decided to leave or he decided to stay. So, WWE saw that he stayed and he rode with them, so they gave him a payday, they gave him a contract, they gave him a job, they gave him his job back. So, I would, if I was a booker and I saw somebody that wasn't signed to my company and they decide to stay and ride with the company regardless of what's going on, the situation, I would have signed his ass too. I wouldn't want him to go somewhere else, especially after he got so much pull, after he got so much popularity doing after the event.
It's basically like how LeBar books for IWC, but he doesn't have to be booking for them. His name brings in bigger talents.
Yeah. So
my whole deal is this though. Everything that you said, Elias, I 100% agree with. Which brings me back to the question in general: why did you even, regardless of y'all pandemic situation, why did you even let him go to begin with?
It was a decision that they had to make the cut.
I mean, granted, higher up.
No, they didn't. That's the problem. I think that's the problem everyone has. Is even without selling a single ticket the rest of the year, they're gonna make more money this year than they have any other year.
Yeah, because they make the budget cuts.
No, even without the budget cuts. Even without that, they still would have made.
I think in this situation we're seeing it from the reporter side of things. We don't know exactly what goes on internally in WWE as far as financials go. So I mean, for the intake that the money intake that they were having and the money that they were actually spending on production, I think if this pandemic would have gone as longer than it is, because thankfully now things are starting to open up, but if this pandemic would have gone longer, I think WWE would have been one of those companies that got affected by this pandemic badly, because they spend a lot of money on production, they spend a lot of money on the network and all these other things. So that's my take on things. Like, I understand everybody's point and why they feel the way they feel, but I'm not a financial expert, so I don't know how to I see it from a corporate side of view, how Disney furloughed all their people. That's the same thing that I see with WWE.
Well, regardless, I'm just glad that Drake Maverick is back in action. I'm happy for him. I can't wait to see big things from him. Yeah.
All right, so let's go into AEW.
AEW.
I think AEW show was pretty entertaining this week.
I saw some people say this was their favorite show of the year. I don't agree with that, but it was a really good show.
It wasn't up there, but it was definitely entertaining.
That's me, and I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. I did a live reaction to the whole show. If y'all want to watch that, Boom. Right there. Go follow. And I also did a full review if you want that. We're going to do a quick one here for the guys. So it opened up with the tag championship match. Hangman Page, Kenny Omega against Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. I was really surprised with Havoc and Sabian's tagging. How good they worked, how quick they worked together in the ring. What's up, Monty?
Was that a screwdriver that they had?
It was a wrench.
Yeah, he used a wrench.
Was that a big ass wrench?
Yeah, it was a wrench.
Yeah. Okay.
My favorite spot.
And Hangman and Kenny Omega still came out on top. All right, big.
My favorite spot on this match was Penelope Ford trying to do the Hurricanrana to Hangman. Hangman catches her and just like
holding her. It's like she tried to Hurricanrana me. What do I do? He goes, "Oh, just put her down." And he goes,
and then he kicks her out.
Yeah, he kicks her out. It's really
and
funny.
And then Havoc randomly coming with a buzzsaw.
Yeah, I was like, that. It's a little too much. I get that that's his thing, but like, guys, this is. If you think about it, guys, this is your tag championship opportunity. Why is Havoc messing around like that?
You're performing with two of the biggest names on your roster. Yeah, go all out. Yeah,
man, have a good match because Havoc supposedly can work real good. He doesn't need all that stuff. I get that that's his character, but I don't know. And then basically, the challengers, the guys were on top the whole time for quite a while. Omega got in. They did their finishing move at some point. They called it now the last call.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool name for it.
Yeah.
And they basically pinned for the win.
Havoc took the pin this one.
Huh?
Havoc took the pin on this one.
Yeah, so Havoc took the pin. And the interesting part also was that FTR best friends are all watching from the side.
I thought they did a good use of the FTR being up in the bleachers. But all right, then after
it was good, like I said, good match. It went like 20 minutes straight, no commercials,
and a lot of it was on. You gotta catch it from the side of your eye, but a lot of QT Marshall and Alley stuff going on.
Yeah, you better watch that.
I actually watched Dark just to see that segment.
Which one?
The QT Marshall, the Natural Nightmares versus I forgot who they faced.
Okay, but you saw just the initial part when Allie was coming down with the apple.
Yeah.
Did you watch this week's opening one?
Yeah,
opening segment. So QT has come in. He's driving a freaking Corvette with Allie in the passenger seat because they have some big match coming up. But QT's not there. He drives up in the Corvette with her. He goes, "Oh, this thing." Allie said it looks cool. She said it looked good in it. Brandy has the coolest line ever. She goes, "Hey, those hair plugs are getting to you now." And so basically, and then she goes, "Oh, we're just gonna go grab a bite to eat. I'll be back. Don't worry about it." To Dustin, and Dustin's like calling him an idiot and stuff. But I really, I wonder.
I would do anything Allie wanted me to do too.
But not if Blade's around. I really wonder where it's going though, because it was very flip of the switch.
And AEW knows about Allie and Blade being married.
Well, I like this. I like this whole storyline that's going on between them. I guess they're trying to do what they did with Otis and Mandy in a sense, but they're actually doing it in a heel version where Allie's trying to split up the Natural Nightmares.
No. I think this is the whole Eve taking a bite of the apple is what they're trying to do. They're just trying to figure out how to end it, you know? Like
they know how they're ending it. I just wonder where it's going, because the only problem is that we have not yet seen a reason why Allie has left from Butcher and Blade. She's still showing up on like their Videotron.
Yeah,
is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So it's
Cybertron.
It's a little off-putting.
That's the only little haze apart with this thing.
The way that they're weaving the story from Dark into this makes people want to go watch Dark. There was even an advertisement at one point that John Moxley is going to be in the next AEW Dark.
They're trying to get views, so that's
hey, do whatever you can. So next match.
Only thing I'm gonna say is that Brandy cannot do a stunner. That's my only negative part about that.
This is not a dark review. That's why she's on dark, is to get some more time. Next match was a squash match. Brian Cage against Sean Dean. Is what it is. Cage came
is
down,
a monster.
tore him up.
Edge came up.
This was really all about
Yeah.
getting some more time on the mic with Taz. Taz is so good on the mic.
I love the whole survive.
He's always been good on the mic, right?
I love the whole survive if he lets you. Yeah.
Yeah, real cool.
Yeah.
This whole, I don't get the path of Cage part of it, but it's cool. Yeah, and it was basically just Taz saying, Moxley, why are you giggling and all that stuff last week, blah blah blah. Just cool.
I
promo.
like Moxley's promo too, where he was like, I'm laughing because this is what the hell I wanted when I came here,
Yeah,
I wanted a beast,
It gives him all the more. It's just so fitting of the character, Like at first, lightly, and it's more like, no, I want to fight someone who I think I can't beat. So go ahead, Mike.
I will say this though, gentlemen. Now I will say this, gentlemen, and hopefully I'm not nitpicking, but it's like ever since I seen Moxley come to AEW, he sure have dropped a lot of weight, don't you think?
He's looking a little bit leaner.
Yeah,
He's got to with his image.
Well, summertime, he lives in Vegas too,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that too. Somebody I read on I think one of the reporters basically said this, but this out there. He said that Moxley looks better chasing the title than holding the title. Do y'all agree on that?
That was Brian Alvarez. I actually don't know if it was him.
I don't know, but I feel
fits that better.
Yeah. So,
all
right.
Yeah.
You know what? I believe that.
But at the same time, at some point, he's got to get to it.
Yeah.
So next match was Jericho and Colt Cabana.
I enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I did.
I was expecting some
me too.
kind of squash or some kind of just misdirection, and the match doesn't happen. But it was surprisingly a good match. This is also apparently the first time these two have ever fought each other. Actually, now that I think about it, that's not surprising because Jericho's always been with WWE. So
even when
Colt had a WWE run too.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, very small. Yeah.
Hey, probably. Yeah, they probably don't understand it.
Yeah, they made him a comic book character. That was his gimmick.
Yeah, it's fun match. Colt basically doing Colt stuff. Having fun.
Love the Superman pin into the wall to Jericho.
Yeah.
They're calling it the Lion Tamer because I think Walls Jericho is.
I think Walls Jericho's trademarked. Yeah. It was the Lion Tamer before, and then he also has that variant, so they can kind of trick the system, if you will. But basically,
so no Code Breaker on AEW.
I think Code Breaker he's used it before.
Code Breaker isn't. Breaker. I've heard it called Code Breaker on Impact as well.
Yeah, he also used it in New Japan that way.
Yeah, no, the Code Breaker is. I think that's
all Jericho.
Yeah.
So anyway, basically the match ended because Colt was playing around. He tried to look cool coming off of the corner of the ropes, right into a Judas effect. It's grown on me, guys.
Dude, I like it, but I like it more when Andrade does it, though.
Colt, well, yeah. Well, Andrade is just legit. That's probably why. Yeah, remember, who did he take out? Was it Ricochet? No, Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander took that one, and it was nasty.
He legit knocked him out almost, I think. But Colt sold the crap out of this one. Again, what I thought the match was for was just for Jericho to get out there on the mic and call out Tyson, which is what happened after the match. And he kept asking for the baddest man on the planet. Where are you, baddest man? And then some music started, and it was
Orange Cassidy.
It was Best Friends music. Orange Cassidy comes out.
That was funny. The whole interaction between Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho and what's his name and
Hager and all that.
Hager was funny.
I think the best thing is the reaction of when he put Jericho's hands between the belt. Jericho wanted to bust out laughing. You saw the smile on his face.
Yeah, I saw it.
Hager turned away. Hager turned away.
Yeah, Hager was laughing because he didn't put it because he hadn't have pockets. He put it into his belt.
He put him in his belt.
Hilarious.
I was like, come on, man.
The other part that almost cracked him up was Sammy singing Judas on the way to the ring.
That one was funny as hell.
Sammy is awesome. He sucks at singing though.
It was just funny.
I want to talk about Sammy when we get to that Matt Hardy segment. Just remind me to say what I got to say.
You talking about the Hardy segment with the private party?
Yeah.
That was before that.
We passed that already.
Oh, okay. So I guess when Hardy was leaving and he was like, respect. It's kind of that I feel like that Sammy face turn's coming.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like, right? Because like he's gonna be like, eventually he's gonna be like, why are you with these guys? Clearly they don't care about you. You keep getting beat up for them,
and he's gonna think, why is Matt Hardy showing me respect and Kenny Omega showing me respect? Yet these guys are just like laughing at me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
but it was for what it was basically.
But it was good to see Matt Hardy.
Yeah, he went to go check out Mark Quinn and Isaiah, and they had a fun little spot. And Isaiah basically said, "Let's be called the Hardy Party," and it was basically to crickets. And then Matt was like, "Yeah, sure. Just let me know if y'all need anything." He walks out.
I think we're about to get introduced to the trios titles in AEW eventually. So they're starting to build these 3-man teams. So I think eventually we're going to see a trios tag team championship in AEW.
That's an interesting three-man too, though.
Can someone explain the glove thing with Shawn Spears? I think that was right after this, right?
That was earlier. Yeah. So, or I think it was earlier. But so, did you watch the YouTube video I posted? In our chat. So basically, Tully cut a promo essentially on Shawn Spears that said, "Hey, since I've been gone, you've become a joke. You know, what do you really want your legacy to be? That you're some kind of loser, or do you want to become someone real, legit?" He goes, "When I was with the 4 Horsemen, there it was again, the 4, which has been lingering around this company all of a sudden."
I don't want that.
Okay, well, some people do. You need another faction. You can't just be Inner Circle and Elite.
But you got the Best Friends. You got SCU. You got
those are groups of 3. I want like a 4 or 5-man faction.
Es Triangle de Muro.
El Triángulo de Muerte.
Yeah,
kind of like that.
That's still that's 3. Those are 3.
Kind of like that shit. Kind of like I was gonna implement kind of like that Shield versus Y family type situation.
You need like another group. Anyway, the point is, the point is that Tully basically was saying you're a joke. The funny part was he said, "I was watching the pay-per-view with my family there, and all of a sudden my face is on your crotch. This isn't cool. This is not right." He goes, "I think we're gonna find a way to do this the right way."
He should have dropped the Tessa would kick your ass. He should have dropped that in there.
He should have. He really should have. Because
that might come at some point.
The next match.
So that was basically he just handed him the glove. There was no reasoning for it. Moise is the answer to your question.
Oh, okay.
Yet, Nyla Rose versus Big Swole.
Right.
I was gonna say, honestly, does anyone else want to talk about this match at all?
I didn't like it.
I expected more from Big Swole. Honestly, I mean, she ain't been in the ring in a minute, so my thing was, I get it, Nyla Rose, but
I think the announcers put her over by saying Big Swole got most of the offense, but Nyla just needed that one big move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a legit looking move. It looked like a spine buster mixed with a powerbomb.
Everyone knows Monty's a big Nyla fan too, so he's
huge Nyla fan.
No, that I ain't no Nyla Rose fan. Nia Jax, Nyla Rose, not so much.
Oh,
wrong Nia.
But I like Big Swole though.
Nyla's gotten so much better though, from when we first saw her.
Yeah, if there was intercompany trading, Nia for Nyla would be a solid trade right now.
I agree on that one.
For WWE, they would probably take Nyla over Nia right now.
But then you have one of Rock's relatives, and then maybe you can get the Rock down the line.
Well, the Rock already comments on AEW. Also, he has before.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, we'll move on. The point of this match really was cool. These two had a match, but there was also a lot of other stories being told. Hikaru Shida's on the sideline watching the match. Britt Baker's in the crowd, but she's riding in her Rolls Royce, which was just basically a golf cart that just had a new
What
title
kind
on
of
it.
shit is that?
I
that
love
whole
the Britt
that-
Baker training montage.
Yeah.
Great.
That was
Britt training
funny as hell.
so good. I like how she couldn't get up the thing with her wheelchair until Tony showed up, and then she's like, "Yay, Tony!" And then she starts hurrying up. It was great.
And then the rope.
The
And
rope.
then the rope she was trying to do during that promo. I was like, come on, man. I'm
Not
like,
either.
come on, man.
So it's fun stuff. A lot of the ringside stuff. It's a way to continue to try to build this women's division up.
I think they're in the right
I hope
path.
Big Swole beat the brakes off of her. How about that?
You just don't like Britt Baker, do you?
I do not like Britt Baker at all. That should be obvious. Stop it. Continue.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
She's probably the biggest
I don't.
storyline character.
And here's the thing: Britt Baker was made to be a face character, and for her to embrace this heel side of her and just go all out with it, it's impressive. Like, I love it.
She's gotten so good on the mic too, compared
I
to.
think okay, fine. Okay. Maybe she has good mic skills. Maybe she can even be a good worker in the ring. That's fine.
What
She
do you
just
do now?
annoys the shit out of me.
Then she's doing her
That's
job
not-
correctly.
No, just drop it. Just drop it.
That's
She
the
annoys the shit out of me.
It's
It's
supposed to
cringy.
be.
It's kind of backwards that you like Nia Jax and then you hate Britt Baker.
I think what's happening is
I think Nia Jackson.
You're working yourself into a shoot.
No. I think Krishan's starting to develop feelings for Reba, and he's not okay with Britt for being mean to Reba.
I
think
love
that's what it is.
Reba. I wish she would wrestle in AEW.
Did you see her Twitter post?
No, what happened on Twitter?
Reba made a post. She said, She tagged Big Swole. Hey, how much would you pay me to throw her off this wheelchair? And she tagged back, DM me, I think, or something.
Take my money now. Take my money now. Take my money right now.
Real funny. All right, and this was my favorite segment of the night, guys. This part to me made the whole show mean something. Tony Schiavone interviewing FTR.
Yeah.
Really good interview segment. I like these interviews as a whole. It was awesome. I don't know how else.
Okay. I got a question.
Yes,
I got a
Monty.
question. Two things. Okay, for y'all three, what does FTR stand for?
That's the point. Did you not watch the segment?
That's the point. Okay. Yes, I watched the segment.
So,
now my next question.
Yeah.
What did Tony Schiavone think FTR stood for?
Fuck the Revival.
I couldn't hit. Oh.
He goes, "Oh, that's funny. I thought it stood for," and then they bleeped it all out because they can't. They first off, they can't curse like that.
That's what I was saying. They bleeped
can't
it out.
curse,
That's why I
and then they
couldn't-
can't say the Revival.
The Revival. So they have to bleep it all out, which is
So
a very good continuation.
So for
of
those who don't know, FTR, the whole FTR hashtag started when being the elite when
it's a long history.
long history of it. So it's like it's a rib towards the Revival, but at the same time it turned into something else. So all right.
It's basically it's a continuation because people have always argued for the past couple of years. Would you say like maybe 4 or 5 years now, whether Young Bucks are the best or the Revival are the best tag team?
Which is funny because it's the Usos
Totally
and Miles.
interesting. What?
Well, and then New Day got into it too. Remember, like everyone was like, "Oh, New Day Revival."
Yeah, I don't really know.
New Day Young Bucks. We actually got New Day Young Bucks, but not in an actual ring setting. We got them at playing.
Who is the best tag team in y'all's opinion right now?
It depends.
It's hard for me to. It depends what style you like.
That's a good
I
one.
think. But as an
Like for-
overall work, I like the Young Bucks, and
For me-
they're new to me though. That's
For
the
me, I always enjoyed the Hardys, right? So for me, it's between the Young Bucks and the Usos. But I'm not a technical guy. So for someone who likes technical,
now are we just talking about AEW or are we just talking about
no,
overall?
all the
No, overall.
anyone.
Overall, okay.
I think it's the Usos or the what's it called, the Young Bucks. But the North is growing on me too.
I'll say only issue I have with Usos is I feel like a lot of their stuff is these are specific spots we have to do because the company likes the spots.
Well, it's the same thing with the Young Bucks. You always see the Meltzer driver. You always see the same moveset pretty much every time.
But
with every tag team.
There's different, but they've shown different stories within each match. I would say more so than the Usos.
I get what Angel's saying. Like in an Usos match, if you get a double super kick, you're going to get the double splash right after.
Yeah,
With that, yeah.
That's not a knock on the Usos. It's because of the company they're in. That's what works for their story.
Yeah. To me,
so,
I feel like I like the New Japan tag teams better. Like, the GOD, the Guerrillas of Destiny, they're one of the best tag teams out there, and nobody really, I mean, people know of them, but they're pretty much underrated. I mean, I feel like they're one of the best tag teams out there.
Well, like, did you watch Impact the last couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Did you see the Diener Farm stuff with Denort?
Yeah.
Dude, Denort's growing on me too. Ethan Page is a stud.
Like real talk, the Rascals also underrated too. Like, there's a lot of competition in the tag team divisions that, like, really, like, when you look at it, you got in WWE, you got the Usos, you got the New Day, you have in AEW, you have the Street Profits, but Undisputed Era, you got freaking the Viking Raiders, AEW, you got the Young Bucks, you have the Young Bucks, you have FTR, you have Best Friends. SCU,
Private Party,
the Nerd Order. Oh, also, Brody Lee offered his match to Colt Cabana after Colt Cabana lost, and Colt is like, I would never join them, but he said it in like a very condescending way
while he was drinking the water that was offered to him. So honestly, I also haven't seen FTR since they left NXT. I saw a couple of the last matches there. I haven't sat down and been like, let me watch these guys, if that makes sense. So I wonder how they're going to be different in here versus what they were.
I don't think they're going to change their style. Their style was always ground wrestling. So
yeah. But I'm saying, like, how are they going to? Because this is an audience that obviously has loved this no tags, constant stuff, blah blah blah. These guys are going to say this is true tag wrestling. We're going to show y'all that. They have to get that over, and they will, obviously, because they're fantastic.
Well, I think having them in the division actually helps bring back that standardization of tag teams, because that's one thing that AEW lacks in the tag team division is, like, actual tags. And
wasn't it Jericho that went off on the wrestlers? It was Jericho and Conan, right?
So, yeah, and Pentagon had a tweet earlier in the week where he said, I miss being with my AEW family. And he's like, I miss being with @Ray Phoenix and all that. And I think it was Dax tagged him back. He goes, you need to stay away until you learn how to make a tag.
Wait, who said this?
Dax Harwood.
Oh, wait, that's the bald one, right?
Yes, Cash is the one. Yeah, Cash is.
Oh, God, I can't believe they let him say that.
The guy's doing his job. Anyway, basically the whole point of this, as you could tell, it was a good segment because we all have something to say about it. But Tony basically asked, why are y'all here? And they said, well, we want to fight all these best teams. And they named basically 8 to 9
Everybody.
teams. I want to see all of those matches. And then he goes, hey, I noticed y'all left out the Young Bucks. Y'all didn't attack them either. He goes, well, we don't want to have match of the year with these guys. We just want to punch them in the face, which I thought was a cool line because it's like we could care less. We want to have a real match with these guys to show y'all why they're not that good. And then
I agree. I think between them and the Revival, I think the Revival is the better technical team. I mean,
yeah.
So, well, FTR.
We got one more show to do, so we got to move too. Yeah.
I like the name The Revolution.
Yeah, but I think that's copyrighted already.
It's just, I thought it was Revolt that was copyrighted.
I think both of them are.
What? Okay. Because like they said, well, FTR could mean anything, whatever we want it to be. It
well,
could
they
mean,
also said Fear the Remix at one point.
Fear the Remix, Fear the Revolution, For the Revolution. They kept saying The Revolution, so I think that's where they wanted it to go.
We'll see.
If the Revolt, they can't do.
All right, so let's get to the main.
Butcher and Blade interrupt, and that's the match. That's the first match we're going to get next week for watching these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the main event, Cody versus Jungle Boy. They got about 10 to 15 minutes. I think this is going to be. I feel like this should always kind of close out the show in a way.
Well, I mean, it's a TNT title, so you would expect it to close out the show unless they have the World Heavyweight Champion on the show.
Yep. But I also think people will get tired of seeing
Correct.
Cody at the end of the show always celebrating because it'll happen for quite a while. He's not going to lose his title for quite a while.
I think it should either open or close every show.
Yeah,
opening is a good shot too.
I could have done without the blood. I think we talked about this before we got on the show. I think the blood spots that Cody's doing happens too frequently. I think that's one of the things that that I could do without. But yeah,
I feel like it hurt.
Yeah, in this particular match, the blood didn't make any sense whatsoever, especially the spot that they had it at.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't do it.
I feel like if anything,
it didn't do it for me.
Used it against Lance. That's a match where that should have happened.
Yeah.
Maybe use the spot there. I get it. Cody wants to put over Jungle Boy, and he's like, I'm going to do everything I can for you, man. It could have done without it because Jungle Boy also, if he wins like that, it's like, man, you beat someone through because they got hurt is what it would have felt like. So only because he was fighting someone who's such a baby face, I think it kind of hurt it.
Yeah. All right. That's AEW Dynamite in a nutshell. So, all right, guys, we'll be back in a couple of minutes with part 2 of tonight's show. We'll be back predicting In Your House, Takeover in Your House, which is this Sunday on the WWE Network. So, until then, peace.
Peace.
Bye.